call this routine gratitude squats because I remember a time in the not so distant past when I couldn't even squat down on the toilet without both of my knees killing me. So this is an intentional check-in. Don't force anything. Inhale on the way down on every squat. Exhale on the way up. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep your core braced. I want to make sure that you plant those feet down and let's let those knees travel over the toes. We're not doing any nonsense external rotation, torquing, pushing the knees out. Embrace letting the knees go over the toes and be very active on the way down. Squatting is not about resisting gravity. It's about actually pulling yourself down into the squat position. Now, on Cossack squats, I want you to be very mindful of inside foot pressure. So imagine that there's a nail in your big toe, the ball of your foot, and the inside of your heel, and keep it nailed down on the ground. We don't want to be rolling to the outside edges of the feet here. Once again, pull yourself down. Imagine there's a stool behind each knee and you got to tap your butt to it. Keep the core braced. Keeping a braced core through all 60 squats is essential. Pull the heels in. Now we're going to push the knees wide here so that the knees track over the second toes and sit down. You're going to feel a big stretch in your groin. We're going to try to stay as vertical as we can on these sumo squats here. Use your hamstrings and hip flexors to pull you down like you're sitting on a tree stump under you. All right, we're going to go back into a traditional squat stance here, but what we're going to do is imagine that there's a wall on either side of us. And when we squat down, we're going to shift the hips and hit the wall on one side and then hit the wall on the other side. We'll do 5 each side, bump the booty on the wall, and keep the heels on the ground. Can't emphasize enough, squatting is not about resisting gravity on the way down. It's about pulling yourself into the position you want your hips to end up in. Inhale down, exhale up. 1 rep, 1 breath. This is 60 squats and 60 breath cycles. Now we're going to get into our Cossack position again, but with this variation, we're going to let the toe of the leg that we're moving away from turn up. So you see how I just pivot on my heel, sit down. This allows us to stretch out the hamstring a little bit more and just to move in a little bit different way here. This is all about variation. Still want to keep inside foot pressure on the foot that you're squatting towards. All right, now we're going to do some valgus collapse squats. This is to really bulletproof the knees. You're going to squeeze your knees together by internally rotating at the hips, keeping the core tight. Try to pull yourself down, keep the heels on the ground, and keep that inside foot pressure. Hope you've enjoyed this. This is an intentional check-in for your hips.